There's a certain kind of hunger that doesn't ask for permission. It's born in the 901 area code, in the crevices of South Memphis, where the only inheritance you get is a struggle and a survival instinct. Rodney Lamont Wright Jr. knew that hunger intimately. They called him Big 30. And long before the plaques, before the millions of streams, before he was standing on a stage, he was just a kid from the East Side, watching his best friend become a star. But here's the thing about being the shadow to a legend. The world sees you, but they don't watch you. Pooh Shiesty was the phenom, the 10-17 signee, the XXL Freshman. He was the one with the AK-47 in the music video, the one facing the federal indictment. And Big 30? He was the ace in the background, the secret weapon, the guy you called when you needed the verse to hit different. But the streets have a way of clearing the table. When Pooh Shiesty was locked in a federal cell, the machine kept moving. The label needed a new flag bearer. The city needed a new voice. And the pressure, the expectation, the weight of the entire Memphis rap scene. It fell on the shoulders of the man who was always just the feature. This is the story of how Big 30 stopped asking for a seat at the table and built his own throne. Rodney Lamont Wright Jr. was born on December 28, 1999. The city around him was a war zone of creativity and conflict. This is the land of 3-6 Mafia, Yo Gotti, and of Young Dolph. It's a place where the grit doesn't wash off. Big 30's life was never a straight line. By the time he was a teen, he was already deep in the mix, but he had a secret weapon. His best friend, a wild-eyed kid named Lontrell Williams Jr. The world would come to know him as Pooh Shiesty. They were an army of two. In late 2018, they dropped their first song, Breaking News, and the streets of Memphis caught fire. 100,000 views in a month. It was the spark. Big 30 followed it up with his first solo banger, No Vouch, a track that clocked 2 million views in its first 30 days and eventually racked up over 10 million plays. But the grind came with a cost. In October 2020, right as the momentum was building, Big 30 was pulled over in Alabama. Cops found over $17,000 in cash, a loaded handgun, and a cocktail of illegal substances. He was staring down serious felonies. He was looking at the end of the race before he even got to the starting line. If Breaking News was the warning shot, Neighbors was the nuclear detonation. In February 2021, Pooh Shiesty dropped the single featuring his childhood friend. The song peaked at number 51 on the Billboard Hot 100 and eventually went gold. This was the moment the industry stopped asking, "Who is Big 30?" and started asking, "How much?" He had the plaque, he had the cosign, and he had a chip on his shoulder. The phone started ringing. In 2020, he signed with Moneybagg Yo's Bread Gang Entertainment, a label that had its own partnership with NBA legend Zach Randolph. He wasn't just a sidekick anymore. He was a business partner. In April 2021, Moneybagg Yo dropped Go featuring Big 30. It was a passing of the torch moment. 30 was now standing shoulder to shoulder with one of the biggest names in the city. He was no longer the little homie. But just as the sun was rising, the sky turned black. While 30 was climbing the charts, the streets claimed someone irreplaceable. His cousin, Big Newski, a fellow rapper on the Bread Gang roster. The business turned bitter. Big 30 accused Moneybagg Yo of not doing enough to protect his cousin. The relationship soured. The music stopped. Big 30 vanished from the spotlight. In 2024, Moneybagg Yo leaked a diss track aimed at 30, accusing him of betrayal. 30 fired back on social media, tearing into his former mentor for failing to show up for Newski's funeral. It was a betrayal that cut deep. The mentor who had counted money with him in the studio had become a ghost. But Big 30 did something unexpected. He didn't go to war in the streets. He went to war in the studio. He dropped Last Man Standing in 2022, a dark, aggressive project that was fueled by the anger of losing his cousin. So, where does the money sit? As of 2026, Big 30's net worth is estimated to be hovering right around the $1 million mark. He's pulling in around $60,000 a year just from streaming royalties alone. But the real money is in the assets. He's got the publishing. He's got the Interscope check. And he's got a catalog that includes a gold plaque from Neighbors. Today, Big 30 is no longer just Pooh Shiesty's friend. He's signed to the legendary Endless Entertainment, the label founded by NBA star Zach Randolph. He's moving differently. He's a father now, a businessman, a survivor. The streets of Memphis are still violent. The legal system is still looming, and the ghosts of the past are still there. But Big 30 isn't running. He's not trying to be the next Pooh Shiesty. He's not trying to be Moneybag Yo's sidekick. He's just trying to be Rodney Wright Jr., the king of Kill Branch, the last man standing. And if you listen closely to his music, you'll hear the sound of a man who knows exactly where he's going. Big 30's story isn't about the fame. It's about the grief. It's about watching your best friend go to prison, watching your mentor turn his back on you, and watching your cousin die in the streets, and still having the strength to pick up a microphone. What do you think? Does Big 30 deserve his spot at the top of the Memphis food chain? Is he the most underrated lyricist in the South? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to understand how your favorite artists really build their wealth and how they survive the collapse of their own empires, hit that subscribe button. We're building financial freedom one story at a time.